Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. How's everybody doing today? It's so good to see your smiley faces. And welcome to our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Hope you're having a good day today. Hey, gang, if you're not, well, you know, this is the place to come to be entertained, to be informed, to have a good time with our famous JMS, Light, Love, Levity, and our famous Levity. The show is quite unique. Oh, there's a lot of shows out there, but something special is the fact that we've created a wonderful community here of lovities who watch from all around the world. Everybody that watches, whether you're commenting live, whether you've been with us since day one, or you just quietly watch our series and you don't comment, you just view and watch, whether you watch live or you watch later on, you are one of our levities. And you're like, what's this levity thing he's talking about? Well, I said light, love, and levity too fast a year ago. Out came the word levity, and the rest is history. Hope you're having a good day. Very busy day. I was on the air all day today. You guys know I work professionally in television and radio. We talk about that a lot. And I work for network and local as well as regional television stations, as well as radio, and do a lot of different shows and programs, including this one with all of you watching around the world. And we're very honored to welcome Esta TerBlanche. She is here on the show. She is in Los Angeles, California. You know her from so many incredible shows. Of course, All My Children, even Spin City, Egoli, Place of Gold. She hails originally from South Africa. She makes her home here in the United States. She played the role of Gillian Andrassy on the ABC daytime soap opera All My Children. And again, as I mentioned, Spin City, but also hosted the South African youth program, K-T.V. Just the short list of incredible things that she has done in her extraordinary career. Here's a great shot that you guys might recall. Absolutely. This goes back a little bit as well. So many great memories. We're going to talk a lot about not only her work in television and film in America, as well as the United States, but also projects, things that she's working on, things that she is very, very passionate about, which is a lot. And if you are, again, somebody who knows her from her work, especially on All My Children, because again, that was something very, very near and dear to her heart. Some of these other programs, of course, All My Children, as we mentioned, and this as well, just a few of the programs. Of course, you know, Spin City with Michael J. Fox. Very, very, very excited to have her here on the show. She's excited to be here as well. And we were just chatting a little bit prior to going live on the air. You know, we have a little chit chat with our guests before we go live on the air to check in with everybody. And she's excited to be here. She's all set up, joining us in just a second. Just want to acknowledge we have viewers that are watching right now live who are commenting. We also invite you to do super chat, super emoji, super stickers. That helps support our show. You can do that in live chat as well. Many of you have done that. And thanks to those of you who have done that and continue to do that. And also, while you're right here on our YouTube channel, which is, and it's very easy, Jim Masters TV. We've made it simple and basic, Jim Masters TV, because I work in television. And subscribe to it. While you're there, subscribe to it. We say that because we're always getting new viewers and new subscribers. And if you're new to our show, we welcome you. If you've been with our show since day one, we thank you as well. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't yet, we would love it. There's no cost to do it. You just click that red button and that's it. Make sure you click the notification bell too, so you never miss any of the content, any of the episodes, live specials, on location, host Levity chat shows, food shows, everything that we do, because we're so much more than just an interview show. We're an all-around entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. Don't forget to give the episode a like. That's right. And also leave a comment on the YouTube channel. I know you guys like to leave lots of comments in chat. It really, really helps us big time get the word out even more if you comment during the show in chat, but also even more if you comment during the show or later on the actual YouTube channel, on the actual page itself. That really, really helps us big time. All right. She's all set. She looks like $1,000,000. We're so excited to welcome Esta to the show. Join me in doing that live and direct from Los Angeles, from Tinseltown, California. Esta, welcome to the show, my friend. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. It's really such an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thanks for
You're
having me.
very, very welcome. You and I were just comparing notes with weather and temperatures. And I mentioned here on the East Coast and the Northeast, it's right now at the time of our show, it's about 25 degrees, clear, but 25 degrees. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be like 11. We got this Arctic air coming down from the north, from Canada. I wish they would just keep it up there, but they're sending it down to us. But right now it's about, what, 75 degrees in LA?
Yes, pretty much. It's a beautiful day out here.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes, gorgeous day in the neighborhood.
That's it. Wallflower 7000. I'm a very interactive host in my professional work and on this series, says Esta. And Juanita, who actually lives in and is from South Africa, says, hello, Jim, Lovely Squad. Very excited for tonight's episode. She's watching from South Africa. Mary Bishop is watching from Florida. Hello, Jim and Lovely friends. Yeah, these are some of our diehard Lovelies. And then there's those who, again, watch quietly, who don't comment, and we love them as well. And those who watch in the archives later. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Sherry Larson is watching from Kansas, one of our faithful Lovelies. They're all welcoming you and greeting you and having a nice time together, too. Good evening, Jim and all Lovelies from Merlin watching in Ontario, Canada. She's a longtime Lovely here on JMS Live. Terry Ann, 58, Mapes, giving you some nice hearts there as well. And she goes, hello, everyone. Happy to be here. We are happy to have you here as well. This is some of that levity I was telling you about, which when I told you that I said light, love, and levity, and it became levity, you were saying, I love it, right?
Yes, I love the levity. Lots of levity, people. Come on.
That's it. Send the levity. Subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. Join us all the time. Our dear friend Lisa Rodrigo is here. Hi, Jim. Hi, Levities. And hi, Esta. We love Lisa. It's good to see you. Lisa joining us as well. She's a levity, a definite levity too. And Merlin says, hi, Esta. Welcome to Lovely Hall. How does it feel to be a levity? How does it feel to be a levity? Because there's Emmys, Grammys, Tonys, Peabodys. There's all these awards. But then when you get a levity on the Jim Masters Show live,
you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm actually, it feels pretty amazing.
Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, it's really kind of cool.
Most people say their feet start tingling when they're a levity. Your feet tingling about now?
Yeah, it's starting to tingle. I love that.
And everybody, again, they're all everybody's saying hello and welcoming you, and this is Gary welcomes you as well. Thanks, Gary. Good to see you, Gary. And they're watching literally from all over the world. Dawn is here. She welcomes everybody and everybody that's chatting. So how are you? How are things going for you? I mean, we have been living in some very interesting, crazy times the last 2 years. It's, affected all of us in our own individual and collective ways. How have you been? How have you stayed, as I usually say to the guests, creative and collaborative, connected, and sort of sane? And most people say, Jim, I'm not quite at the sane part yet through all this craziness.
Yes. You know what? I think I've been doing really good, actually. It's been a very interesting time. Right in the beginning of the pandemic, I had to make a decision for myself because I flew back. I was in South Africa on vacation, and then in March of 2020.
I know it's hard to remember the years. They roll together now, don't they?
Yes, completely.
Yeah.
And I came back to America, and my family, they're all in South Africa. So I was kind of alone then. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this pandemic. How am I going to deal with this by myself, all on my own? And I was watching the news, and it really got to me. Like
Yeah.
I felt like it um just watching the news, and it just made things worse in your head.
The emotional toll. Yeah.
Yeah, the emotional toll. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna make it if I keep watching all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I made a decision. I switched off my TV, and I did not turn it on for one whole year.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
And I
And
think,
that's not an easy thing to do for somebody that has worked in television. I know how difficult that is and would be to do that. But even I have had times where I'm like, okay, I'm good. That's enough. If I do watch, I need a comedy or a good nostalgic movie or something that makes me feel really good and takes me away from just this constant bombardment of all the reality and all the losses. And now, of course, lately we've lost Betty White and Sidney Poitier, and Bob Saget passed away, the comedian, and there's all of that being added in. It's just a very interesting time, and you do need to, if you're a public person where you're always out there putting yourself out there, you got to have time to breathe and reboot and reassess and refresh and reconnect with yourself, right? Reconnect with yourself.
yes, yes, absolutely. Um, I actually, in that year, I did not even watch movies. I did no TV, none
Nothing. Yeah. Just
whatsoever.
completely just unplugged. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
How did you keep busy? What were you doing? Were you getting in touch with nature? Did you go to the ocean? Did you uh,
I
go
no,
outside?
I just did a lot of reading, and I
Reading. Yeah.
think I just did a lot of soul searching. Like I just, whatever stuff came up, I dealt with it.
Yeah.
So in a way, it was really wonderful too, because was forced to deal with my own issues, sort of. I There
Sure.
was no place to go,
To
almost.
go. Right.
And
Right.
it was almost, to me, it was almost like a gift, if I can say,
Yeah.
in this
Right.
horrible
It
pandemic time.
Right. It wasn't this time Esta playing the role of somebody else's life. This is now Esta tending to her own needs and her own life, right?
Yes, yes.
And that's a lot of people, that are in these industries or just in life have been saying things like, with all of the sadness and craziness and horrificness of all of this, there has been a great pause. It's been also a wonderful opportunity to breathe and to reconnect with family, friends, with things that we really want to do, things that inspire us, and taking a look at our lives and saying, really deciding what we want to do next with
Right.
the rest of our life. And you've been doing that as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. It
And what have
just,
you learned? What are some teachable moments? What are some things that Esta learned about Esta while you've had this time?
you know, I have to say this. This is I realized, this might be something totally off topic or whatever, but I realized one day that, um, if you if you really want something from another person, then you need to be able to do or give it first. Kind of like what Gandhi says about be the change. And I remember I was on my patio watering the plants, and I was thinking, but yeah, why can't he be like this? And why can't, I want him to be. And then I'm thinking, but look at what you're doing. And it was like
Yeah.
and just like that, I stopped it. Like it
Like a
was
big
like
aha moment
a
for
big
you.
aha moment. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, you want that, but look at you.
Right.
And it
Right.
was like all of a sudden, like, you be first, you be that change.
Ooh, who do we have there?
Oh, it's
Oh, what a
Kaya.
cutie. They love when this happens. This is
Oh, thank
fantastic.
you.
Oh, the audience loves this. Who do
Oh,
we have here?
this is Kaya. She's my she's one of my cats. Yeah, she loves to. She's standing on my leg right now. Oh, sorry, did she step on something? I think she stepped and
No,
I
no,
lost.
no.
Oh
Oh,
wait,
no. Yeah.
there you're back.
No, she didn't
Sorry.
step on anything. She just stepped on you, but we're fine over here.
Okay, good.
Tell us about that wonderful family friend of yours there. How old? And I'm sure brings you a lot of unconditional love, right?
Oh, she's amazing. Yes, she's about 5, and yeah, she can really sense energy.
She
Like,
does, huh?
yes, she can sense energy, and like I feel like she can see into the spiritual world also.
They
But
say animals do have this uncanny ability to sense a lot, and they can also sense when we are off balance, when we're not feeling good, when we're hurting. Animals are very good at sensing that. They can also sense a lot of things in advance of them happening, like windstorms and earthquakes, and that they sort of go in circles and they can sense things almost before, with all this great technology we have, the animals still can teach us a lot.
yes, but it's interesting, that thing about the earthquakes. Every single time we've had an earthquake, I specifically watched them, and I no response. Like, there was no change in behavior, nothing. So I guess my
So
got
you, so
so
you had
quiet
to
there.
duck under the desk yourself then.
Yeah, so no, not them. Yeah.
That is funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
How long have you had Caroline?
Um, Kaya, I've had her 5 years, and then
How
I
do you spell it?
Kaia.
Kaya. Okay.
Kaya.
Beautiful name.
And then
Beautiful name.
I also have
Kaya.
another one, Mika. Mika, come
Mika.
here, baby.
Oh, the audience
Um,
loves this. Yes.
um, yeah, she actually went missing.
Did
Like,
she really?
yes, and she was lost for 40 days. And
There's a story in there somewhere. 40 days and 40 nights.
yes,
Yeah.
she's my little miracle. She really is. Like, when I found her, I went straight from where I got her straight to the emergency hospital. And yeah, they didn't think she was going to make it.
Mm,
But
mm.
I just said, no, do what you need to do. And she pulled through.
That's
And
great.
yeah, she came home, and I had to
Beautiful.
feed her with a syringe
Ooh,
to
yeah.
feed her. And yeah, she made it.
That's great.
She weighed 2 pounds when
2 pounds.
after that
Wow.
happened. Yes, and her normal weight is 7 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Wow. But they bring you such joy and love in your heart, huh?
Oh my goodness, yes,
It's
so much.
unconditional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much.
So you were mentioning some of the things that have come into your life and some of those teachable moments through all of this, as you've sort of had the time to breathe and connect once again with who Esta is, right?
Yes.
It's been a beautiful time in that way. What are some other things that you've learned about yourself? Have you decided to do different things? Are there other things you want to add into your life as a result of all of this? I know acting is near and dear to you, of course.
Yes. I really realized that I do miss acting a lot, and that I would love to go back to acting. Yes. Like that is my passion.
Tell us about that. Growing up originally in South Africa, a wonderful career in South Africa as well as in the United States. What were some of those early inspirations for you that sort of fostered this wonderful passion for the arts, for entertainment, for communicating, for the acting world? What were some of those early opportunities and doors that opened for you, Esta?
Um, it wasn't uh, like any specific thing that happened, like, oh, this happened, and then it was just this knowing. Ever since
Mm,
I have a memory, ever since I can remember, I just knew it was my path. Like, okay, you're gonna be an actress, and then you have to go to Hollywood. Like, I just like knew certain things. I just know. If you ask me to explain why, I can try to come up with all sorts of explanations. I can try to reason it out and uh, try to find the right stuff, but it's so much bigger than that. It's just
yeah,
an absolute knowing in my soul. Like, I know, as I know, as I know, like I know.
right,
So i
right.
just i just knew. Like, I cried for 2 weeks before I had to leave South Africa. It was the hardest thing for me to do, the hardest thing, but I knew I had to do it. So I just did it. I cried all the way on the plane. I got
Yeah,
I got I walked out of LAX with my two suitcases. I looked at the city like this, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna turn around now and go straight back in. And then I got in a cab and I didn't.
right, exactly. Tell us a little bit about some of the work that you did in South Africa before making that big move and coming thousands of miles away to pursue your dreams here in the United States. Tell us about some of those early projects and things you had an opportunity to be involved in South Africa. Because you're
Um,
beloved there as well. I mean, people, when I mentioned you were on, not only did people here in the United States and our viewers get excited, but the South African audience too are like, oh my God, Esta, Esta, Esta,
oh, thank
which is
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. Uh, yeah, I was on a TV show there, Egoli, and it was the first soap, we can kind of say, of really the first soap that was made in South Africa.
Hmm.
So it was a kind of a big thing in South Africa at the time. Um, and oh my goodness, I was incredibly excited. It was such a dream come true for me. Um, it yeah, it was amazing for me to be able to work on that and work with all the country's best actors and
Yeah,
actresses that I grew up watching and were like my heroes, and you know, like people I watched as a kid. So
yeah.
it was
Hmm.
really, really wonderful. But then you start to work, and then suddenly it just changes. Like it they become your, you look way past, then that fascination almost goes away, and they become your co-workers.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's interesting because of that, I did not want it to be intimidated when I started working on All My Children. So
Mhm.
I purposefully decided I was not going to watch any episodes of All My Children.
Ooh. Now, had
Yes,
you were familiar with the soap opera? You knew about All My Children and
yes,
everything before the
yes,
opportunity to come here, and because that was filmed in New York, so you were coming
yes,
to New York first, right?
yes. And I was living in Los Angeles. And so when I booked the show, I thought, okay, now you really got to study, you got to get familiar with the show. You know,
Yes.
you got to know the characters. And then I thought, no, why you're just gonna be maybe intimidated. Why don't you just go there not
Yes.
knowing a single thing and just be yourself?
Yes.
And I made that decision. It was a purposefully decision, like, and I decided that, and I did not watch one episode. So when I arrived there, I really didn't know who anybody was. And um but it was in a nice way, because in South Africa we didn't have the show there. So I think it also helped me to just be more at ease, because I wasn't intimidated.
Yes. It
I
was
think
brand new and fresh.
yes, because I think a lot of people could be intimidated by Susan Lucci or
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Nader, um, those people.
Some of the legends, yes.
Yes. And I was a bit clueless. So sometimes it counts in your favor.
Actually, right, you're here to work and you're here to participate, and there's
Yeah.
no yeah, there was no right, exactly, which
Yeah.
I think is fantastic. So how did that happen? How did the opportunity to be a part is the All My Children role what brought you to America? Or did you come to
No.
America first and then work here, and then out of that work, All My Children developed for you?
Yes. I first moved to America, and I moved to Los Angeles, and I I started to, I got the agent and the manager, and I started to do auditions, and I did a few commercials and things like that. And then I went for an audition eh, at All My Children, but it was for a different part. And the part was quite a bit older than me at the time, but my agent said, just go anyway, just go. And I said, okay. And I went, and we got some feedback saying they really liked me. I'm not right for that part. I'm too young for it, but they really liked me. And they are actually going to write something for me. Um, so they created this role with somebody with an accent, um, Hungarian. It's kind of similar
Similar, yeah.
to South African.
Mhm.
And maybe a month or so later, we got another call saying, we want to fly her out and do screen test for this new role we wrote. Yeah, now that I think of it, it's quite bizarre, actually.
Yeah.
And um, I was so flattered. Was like, wait, are you joking? Like, no, this can't be. Really? And I didn't have to audition for this even. And they said, no, we want to fly you out, and you're going to stay in a hotel, and you're gonna do the screen test. And I remember my manager picked me up. He took me to the airport, and then I did the screen test. And at first I messed it up, kind of on purpose, but yeah,
Were you nervous at all?
not so much, but I think I was a little bit nervous. But I made a mistake, right? And then I was, and then I had that very clear moment where I had that like quick 2-second talk with myself, and I said, Esta, just go for it. Because in my head I was thinking, I can't immigrate, like I can't move again. I just settled down in Los Angeles. Like I just got used to it. Now really, if I get this, I have to move again
to the East Coast, to the New York area.
I don't know if I can do this. And that's when I messed it up. And then,
had you been to New York before?
No.
So that, yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody, nothing. And then I said, okay, stop this. Like, you can do this. Like, if you have to get this, you'll be fine. Like you can do it in New York. I mean, you made it in LA for 2 years. You'll make it. You'll get through it. And I said, can we stop, please? I need to start over. And then I just went in saying, okay, fine, I can do this. If I get it, I'm okay living in New York. Like I can do this. I'll just do it, you know? And then it went great. And I remember afterwards, the casting director told my manager that there was a specific little scene or something that I did that really helped me also get it. I wasn't even aware I did that. But
do you remember what it was?
Yes. I was supposed to just stand, and he was supposed to walk past me. And at that moment, I just went to sit on the desk. And as he walked by, I grabbed him by the tie, and it wasn't scripted. And it just threw him off completely. But I created a really nice moment. It wasn't scripted, but I did get the part then.
What was that feeling like when here you are, having had exposure to a South African soap opera, so very familiar with those big thick scripts and all the work and all the shooting and all the different scenarios, and then being in Los Angeles and being in commercials and other projects, and then getting that call that you're now going to be on this legendary, beloved American soap opera on ABC that's been on for decades with all of these incredible actors that have come through that series out of New York. What was that feeling like for you?
It was amazing. It really was amazing. I remember we were going back and forth with contracts, but the very last final contract I actually signed on my first day on set. And it was so busy, and I was running, and I was in the dressing room and signing it. And it was such a great moment, thinking, oh my goodness, I'm signing this contract, and here I am, and oh my God, and this is amazing, and yay. And then I had to run on set, and yeah, it was just
Did you call home to South Africa right away too?
Yes.
To let them know? They
Yes.
must have been jumping in the streets, huh?
Yes, I called my dad first. I called him right away. Yeah.
And must have been very, very proud because you didn't give in or give up with your dreams, and you made it happen.
Yes.
Hmm. That's really amazing. It really is quite a story. And then the role itself, tell us about the role that they gave you, which obviously, was quite a role to have on that series, huh?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It
A
was quite a role to have.
lot of
Yeah.
plot twists. Yeah.
Mm, yes.
So when they told you the role, tell us a little bit about that. What was it like playing that role?
It, of course, it was really wonderful, but actually, was, um, it was a little hard at first. I had to go and have a meeting with the executive producer, because I struggled a little bit. I was like, wow, it's a little difficult for me to just play all these love scenes, and my character is like naked all the time, and then she's in bed with this one and that one, and I
That part you didn't mention to Dad, right?
know. Well, they didn't mention it to me either.
Right. It came along after, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and I went through this whole moral thing, like, is this wrong?
Mm.
Like, what? And then she was really very nice. She had this conversation with me,
Mhm.
um, because it was really I struggled a little bit with that. It,
Yeah.
it I felt, do I am I okay doing all this? Am I really okay? Like, is this okay or not?
Right.
Um,
Right.
because it wasn't like Gillian was just on the show and then, okay, maybe she got married and then maybe there was one love scene. I was, it was kind of a joke. I was a lot naked, not naked, but like
But
undressed and stuff, where it was problematic for me at in the beginning,
yeah.
because I've never done that.
No, right.
And in soaps, there are no body doubles or
No.
anything like that.
You are your own stunt person, literally.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So how did you work through that? How were you able to come to terms with it and work through that and accept it? Were you able to make suggestions as far as uh, some of the scenes or anything, or no? It's just what the writers write. That's what you do. How were you able to work through it for you, Esta?
um I think I had to look at it like, if you're going to be in a movie and you're portraying the part as such and such a person, then that's what you're gonna be and portray. And uh, that does not mean that's you. So there's a, just because you're acting something doesn't mean that's what you are. So I came to a realization that there's, and like my dad always said, you are separate from your work. And so I just made
Good
that.
advice.
Yeah.
Good
So
advice.
where I realized, but I am a separate thing. Esta is not Gillian. We are different. We are two different
Right,
people.
exactly. That's just what the role is, and it's part of your craft of being an actress. Exactly. And I mean, the role itself, really a glorious role in so many different ways for you, huh? What were some of your favorite scenes and favorite moments playing that role, that character on All My Children?
Uh, oh, there were so many. There were so many, but I really enjoyed working with Cameron.
Cameron Mathison, yes, great
Yeah,
actor.
he's
Yeah,
he was great to work with, and
a great shot right there. Brings
uh,
back
oh
memories,
my goodness,
huh?
that
Brings
is.
back
Oh,
memories.
and Josh, yes,
Josh Duhamel, right?
yes,
Yes, who became quite an actor
yes,
himself. People might
amazing,
forget that he was on All My Children around the same time that Kelly Ripa was on, and Mark
yes,
Consuelos, of
yes,
course, now have gone on to other things as well. But there's a young Josh Duhamel there as well. And tell us about that scene, Cameron Mathison, yourself, and Josh Duhamel there.
yes. That was one of my wedding scenes. I say one of them because I know my character got married a couple times.
Yeah,
So
that happens on soap operas too.
that that
Yes.
happens. Yes,
You come back from the dead, everything.
everything, anything is possible. So that was just a goofy moment. We were just having fun. We
And
probably had a really long day. We did
yeah.
have a really long day.
It's a great shot as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That's again, that was a beloved series. Yeah, look at this.
Oh,
Isn't that
yes,
cool? Of course, being on the cover of a lot of the soap magazines, the Digest and ABC Soaps in Depth and all the rest. All that publicity, all that fanfare that comes from being, on a regular series daily like that, which is
yeah,
which is kind of cool. Here's a cool shot too. Look at this one.
yes. Danny
Tell us
Cosgrove.
about this scene. Danny Cosgrove, yes.
I think he was then in. Wasn't it Melrose Place or Beverly Hills?
He was on Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes,
He's
yes,
originally from Connecticut. I know his brother, who is the first selectman of one of the towns. He's in government in Connecticut, his brother. He's from Connecticut originally, Danny. And Danny was not only, and for those that are looking at this photo, Danny is the second from the left. That's Danny Cosgrove. You maybe remember him from Beverly Hills 90210. But I believe he also then went to, this is All My Children, but he went, I think it was either As the World Turns or Guiding Light on CBS. I think he was there as well. And there's Cameron and all of you together. Tell us about this scene. Do you remember this scene?
yes. I do remember this scene. We were in the ski lodge or the hunting lodge, and it was
Yeah.
really cold and snowing, and the heater didn't work, and we were all freezing, and we were all sharing that double bed or that
Mm,
that bed, all four of us. In the story now.
yeah.
Uh, oh yes, and I remember we
I
shot.
like the
Sorry.
way you said, and in the story, just to
And
qualify it, right?
yes, yes, just to make sure.
Right.
Yeah, and um,
Do you guys stay in touch? The folks that have been on the series over the years, whether it's Cameron or Danny or any others that you've worked with, do you guys stay in touch here and
uh,
there?
yeah. I mean, I stayed in touch a little bit with Cameron, um, but not so much actually. I just recently, not recently, but a year ago, I think. No, don't remember exactly how. Yeah, maybe a year ago. I don't know when. Yeah, last year. I did an interview with Cameron, and I saw him, and didn't. Oh, and I kept in touch. I saw Katie, who played. Who did she play? Um, Katie McLean.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
but no, not really, because they were shooting in New York,
Right.
and I'm back in Los Angeles.
So did you stay in Los Angeles the whole time and commute back and forth, or did you end up
No,
going to New York or the New
no,
York area?
yes, no, I ended up moving there.
Because people, a lot of the soap opera actors and actresses and producers and crew, they would either live in the city or Connecticut or Long Island or New Jersey, surrounding areas as well. So
Uh-huh.
you came to the East Coast and made home in
Yeah.
this
In
area, the New York area.
Yes, I lived in the city. Yes,
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I really enjoyed it, and it was a magnificent experience and a wonderful experience, wild experience. But I wouldn't want to live there.
Regularly, right. It's
No.
very, very busy and yeah,
It-
fast
I'm
paced.
I feel extremely blessed that I've had that opportunity
Yeah.
to have been able to live in Manhattan
Yes.
and live right there, and experience it, the whole thing, like
A whole
the
thing.
city
Yeah.
life, like
The Broadway
work,
shows and the
everything,
restaurants and
everything.
museums. Yeah.
Yes, all of it. Like I lived and breathed it. Like I experienced everything about it.
Yes.
So I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity in my life.
Yeah.
But I am from Africa. I like, grass on my under my feet, and like I don't belong in the concrete jungle, really. So Los Angeles is more for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a slightly slower pace, but you can access, the suburbs and exactly right. So you've experienced it all, which is great. It makes it a well-rounded experience for you. We've
Yes.
got another great shot that I wanted to show here too. This one, look at that shot.
Oh. Aww.
Tell us about that. You remember that shot?
Yes, I remember that scene
And
also.
and look at her expression next to you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, she was so. Oh my goodness, yeah, Meg.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's such a nice lady.
Yeah.
Yes, she's. I loved her. We had a really good relationship. She's amazing.
You remember what was happening, what you were saying there?
Yes, I was saying that he was trying to marry me for my money, but the joke was on him because I was broke. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was. Oh yeah.
So he was trying to marry you for the money, and
Oh,
meanwhile, you were broke.
oh, that is funny. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? That brings back a great memory as well. This is a great shot. Look at that shot.
That was at the Emmys. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about what it's like being part of the daytime Emmys.
It
Quite an experience.
yeah, it was really great. Actually, my first Emmys, we won the Emmy.
I know.
Yes, and we got to go up on stage and the whole thing, and
Yeah.
won the actual award because we got best show. So
Yes.
it,
All my children. Yeah.
yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Really was amazing. And when we got it, they said, "You all have to go. Like, get up, go."
Everybody go up on
And
stage
we
and
all went
accept
up,
it.
and we accepted the award. And yes, it was.
Quite
I kind
amazing.
of almost where you can't even believe it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling and well earned, and nice, easy to come by because there's so much competition. And at that time in daytime, so many soap operas too. You had All My Children and One Life to Live and General Hospital and Another World and Days of Our Lives. What was there? Guiding Light, As the World Turns, The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful,
Oh,
Passions,
wow.
General
Yeah.
Hospital, all of them competing for the awards. So to go up on stage, that was quite an honor, huh?
Yeah, it was.
You're probably fascinated that I knew all the names of all those soap operas.
Yes, I am.
Well, so many of them were filmed in New York too. The exposure, I know. All My Children, I know with Another World and some of the others, they would film them in these big warehouses that were turned into studios in Brooklyn, New York. Did they film All My Children there, or did they film it at the ABC Television Center in Manhattan?
They filmed it in Manhattan at the
At,
ABC studios.
at the ABC studios.
Yeah, 66th and Columbus.
Yep. Hmm.
And actually, right next to it, they started to build a new Trump building.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
And you could walk, because I've done work with PBS with WNET Channel 13, which is right on the corner of 66th and Broadway,
Yes,
uh,
yes,
in the
I've been to that studio too.
beautiful studio, all glass, and
Yes,
the Tisch
gorgeous.
building that's there, but it's right next door to Lincoln Center.
Yes,
It's a beautiful area, isn't it?
it's beautiful. Yes, it's
Yeah.
just up the street.
Right up the
We were
street.
right on the corner on the Hudson River, like right.
Yes, you
Yes,
guys are right there, and I believe Channel 7 is in there as well, and the whole network, Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee were in there, and Kelly and everybody with
the
their
View.
show.
They were shooting the View
The
there
View,
with
right?
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters at the time. Would you ever like to do a show like that? Those kinds of shows? Because I know you've hosted the youth program K-TV, right? Tell
Yes,
us about that experience, because a lot of people know you and remember you from that as well. What was
yeah,
that like?
it was great. I loved it. Um, yeah, I would love to. I would like to host. Yes, for sure. I love to host a show like that.
How did you like
Um,
working with kids?
yeah, KTV was kids TV.
Yes, right. And they say it's very interesting sometimes, especially in movies and in television, when you're working with kids and when you're working with animals. What was it like working with the kids? And for those watching, around the world who aren't familiar with kids TV, KTV, tell us about what the program was like.
It was it was like a talk show
Yeah.
with a bunch of us. It was almost like The View, I guess, bunch of
Yeah.
us, but for children. But then I was young too. So I was 15 or 16, and the show was for kids, any age from the age of 4 to 16 or 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was the oldest then. I so
And were you doing all kinds of different fun things with the kids too?
uh yes, yes. Sometimes we would have kids on the show, and sometimes, well, mostly it's just talking to the kids through TV. So it's not like they were with you
It's
all the time.
more of like in an educational way, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is fantastic. That was a great opportunity as well. You mentioned also commercials out in Los Angeles, even before All My Children. Do you
Yeah.
remember some of the commercials you were in that people
It
might remember the
uh
products, the names of the
it was
companies?
it was AT&T,
AT&T.
and hair, some hair stuff.
Well, of course, that makes sense with the what beautiful locks that you have. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes, AT&T. We shot it in Macy's.
Oh, and Macy's. Yeah.
Yes. And then I did stuff for Revlon,
Revlon.
but
Yeah.
that was in South Africa. Yeah.
Now you took some people may say, okay, I'm watching the Jim Masters show live and I'm enjoying this conversation with Jim and Esta. And boy, I remember her on All My Children and these other shows and maybe even some of those commercials. And even you were involved with Spin City too, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. I did a show. I mean, I did an episode with Michael J. Fox on Spin City. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, huh? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Would you like to do more of that? Like if a regular, either a sitcom or a drama came along that was weekly like that? I mean, with All My Children, that was almost daily, and depending on the storyline, if the writers were writing the storyline and you're in it for a period where you're on every episode for weeks, that's a lot of work. If somebody came along and said, gee, we would love for you to be on a new drama, a new sitcom, whatever. Do you lean more drama? Do you like comedy as well? If somebody said, gee, we'd like to bring you into a network sitcom.
Yeah, you know, I do, I guess. I do like comedy. I never thought I did, but then they started to write a lot of comedy for me on
In
All My
Children, right?
And
yeah.
then I liked it.
Yeah.
So,
right. Well, some of the, I'm sure there were times when, and I know a lot of the soap opera actors and actresses, some of them friends of mine, especially being here in the New York area, some of the storylines can be very funny, you look at the script and you're like, what? I'm going to do what today? That's, like crazy storylines, so dramatic too, right?
yeah.
Something you wouldn't normally do in everyday life, but that character is going to jump out of a helicopter or she's going to do whatever. I'm sure sometimes you looked at the scripts and you're like, say what?
Yeah. But it's okay. I don't mind.
It's all part of the acting process, right? Exactly. And so you've taken a little bit of a brief break from it to focus on other parts of your life. What are some of the things you've been doing in between? Because I know you want to gradually return to the world of acting and performance and more of a full-time role. When did you make the decision to sort of take time for yourself? Was it the pandemic that did that, or was it something you knew you needed and wanted to do, and then you're working towards returning to it?
I think it was the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think it was the pandemic. But it was a little more than that. I also knew it was something I needed to do. But the pandemic just really forced me to. Yeah. And you were asking earlier, but then what was I doing?
Some of the things in between, right, that you were doing when you pulled away from it a little bit to just get in
Yeah.
touch with yourself again, some other things that you were doing along the way?
Yeah. Um, you mean during the pandemic or?
Or even before that, yeah, some other non-acting things that were important to you that you wanted to touch upon in your life?
I I worked with kids a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You like working with kids, huh?
I do. I do. I love kids and
Yeah.
animals, and I do love
Yeah.
love them.
As far as coming back into it, have you obviously, the pandemic, nobody's been able to do a lot of stuff, but have you had any opportunities to go back to, um, South Africa to be with the family?
I was actually gonna go in December, and then um, uh, the new variant of the virus came out, so
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
able to go. So my plan is to go sometime this year soon.
to see the family and catch up with everybody,
Yeah.
which is great. Um, so you are are there projects and things that you're working on now that you're excited about, that you're looking forward to? Things
Yes.
that maybe we can look forward to as well, Esta?
Yes. I There are a few things that I'm very much looking forward to. Um, and hopefully I'll be able to share it with you
We will
soon.
have you back to do that for sure. What about one of our lovely viewers asked this, and I was thinking about it too. How about any thought to stage work, to Broadway, off Broadway, any of that work as well, and movies, film,
I would love that. Absolutely. I would love that.
both Broadway and film?
Levity. Yes.
Lovities, absolutely.
Levity.
That is the word that works around Lovity
Yes.
Hall here. Yes, levity.
Yes.
It really is. What about also creating your own thing? Have you thought about that? Have you been working on things? Do you like the behind the scenes part of it? You know, when you're there
Mm-hmm.
and you're on set, all of us know we get to see all the other parts of the puzzle, all the other components, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the writers, the producers, the camera people, the directors. It takes a village to put everything together.
Absolutely.
Do you like writing? Do you like producing? Are there other things behind the
Yes,
scenes that
I do.
interest you, Esta?
Yes. Though everything about it interests me. Uh, so all of that, I just don't think. I don't think I'm a good. I don't think I'll. I don't think the writing part. So I'll stick with the other stuff. Somebody else can do the writing,
Right,
but I
exactly.
am
Yeah.
definitely very interested in everything else.
What are some other things you like to do separate from the business, like other hobbies and other things that bring you joy in your life?
Horses, horseback riding.
Horses. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Love horses.
Equestrian. Yeah. Have you ever had any of your own
Yes,
in
I.
South Africa?
Yeah, I had.
Yeah.
I had a few horses. Yes.
So that's near and dear to your heart, huh?
Yeah, I love my horses.
How about traveling too? I know sometimes with the soap operas, you know, they've gone to exotic places on some of the episodes over the years. Did you get a chance to travel? And would you like to have a situation where you're traveling with the production, the show, or whatever it may be? Do you like to travel to different places?
Uh, I would. I'm. I would. I love to travel for myself. I do love to travel. Um, for work, yes, I it, I think it would be a little challenging for me to have to travel nonstop all the time. To if you have to
Like
travel,
touring, like a singer or a band has to do,
I
right?
think
Touring
I do think
or
that's
comedian.
that's difficult. Although
Yeah.
I think some people love that, but I like to have my like a home base. I do like to have like a something I
Yeah.
can call home.
Where you can come home and put your head on the pillow and the cats are there and you can
Mhm.
have a cup of tea and put your feet up and relax and just,
But I think if I have a sense of home with me, like if I can take them with me, or even
yeah,
someone with me,
right.
it wouldn't matter. Like I
Then
can
it
go.
changes it.
It changes everything.
Do you like to cook? You know, a lot of people during this pandemic have been doing all kinds of cooking, baking breads and all kinds of things. Do you like to cook? Is that something that interests you?
Um, yeah, it interests me. I'm just not so good at it.
See, folks, she's honest. She
I'm
is
very honest.
honest.
I do not cook.
Do you have a specialty? Is there something, maybe whether it's a South African dish or something you've learned
Yeah,
in
I
America?
am.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm really good with baking eggs. That
Oh,
I can
yeah.
do. Yeah, I can make an egg. I can
You can make a
make
nice
scrambled eggs. I can.
scrambled egg.
Yeah, I can. I can. I know how to do that. For the rest, not.
Reservations. Make reservations.
Yes, or grub up, or
Grubhub, yes, that's right,
yeah.
the delivery services. Why do you love this work? Why does this work obviously, like you mentioned, you're so authentic and open about it wasn't easy leaving your home country, leaving South Africa, and whether you were gonna go to the UK or Australia or Canada or here to the United States of America, and we're glad that you're here and you chose here, of course. Um, it wasn't an easy thing. It's very emotional, but you did it. Obviously, this is a passion for you. It's part of who you are. It's part of the essence of who you are, and it's part of your craft. What are some of the things about the work that bring you great blessing and joy, Esta?
Just when I can do a scene and I felt like I really did a good job, and I think that I was able to um I guess b- acting is almost you have the ability or the opportunity to touch people's lives, so it gives you that opportunity.
Isn't that a beautiful thing? And I'm sure over the years you've received letters and mail, from people who've expressed how much, whether it's, the kids show or the soap opera or whatever it may be, um, how much they enjoy you and appreciate your work and how you've been able to touch them through the work. That's really the icing on the cake of any of this work that I do and you do, isn't it? The ability to be able to reach people, not just chat and talk and the usual stuff that everybody else does, but to go deeper and beyond and really lift people up and inspire them and empower them through our expertise, through our craft, our training, our years put in, through all of these things that, these platforms, these ways that we do it, whether it's television, radio, film, stage, internet, all of it, to be able to leave people thinking, feeling, remembering, enjoying. It's a responsibility, but it's also a great blessing and a real pleasure, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. I your life goes in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So if you are able to change thought patterns of people in a movie and really take them out of a place where they were stuck almost, if you can get them out of that, then you've changed the course of their life almost. So if you have a good story in a movie, you have the ability to not only touch someone, but you can change the course of someone's life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's what really made me realize that I wanted to go back to it was it made me realize it can give me the opportunity to touch so many lives. Yeah.
So, and that's something that you've been missing and something that your heart has been speaking to you about. And you want to be able to have the opportunities to do that continually, which is really, really beautiful. What is maybe one or two things you've learned about acting and about the industry that has surprised you? Maybe things you didn't know, things that you've learned along the way about yourself and about acting.
Um,
I love the way you pause and you really deeply think and feel the question. That's, as opposed to just a quick answer. Okay, 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 okay. I like the way you really pause and you're really thinking and feeling it, which is beautiful. Not everybody does that.
Thank you. Uh, that actors are not necessarily what they portray in the movies at all.
Something that
Um,
you've learned and witnessed and experienced.
yeah,
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 yes. So there's a lot. It's a learning process as much as it is enjoyment. And people always think about the glitz and the glamour of it all. But it's also a lot of hard work, isn't it? You put a lot of hours in, especially when you're doing those soap operas. Those scripts can be you're shooting a lot of material,
yeah,
right? You got to
yeah.
memorize it all. And
Yes, it is. It is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I tell you, learning more about you and your incredible career and the journey from South Africa to Hollywood to New York and then back to LA and then exciting things that are coming up for you truly is a blessing for us here at the Jim Master Show Live. And I hope that you enjoyed the show as much as I have, and the show
I
met whatever expectations that you had, and you'll stay in touch and keep us posted. You have there's a website people can go to, right, which is your name and then .com,
yeah. Wait.
and so everybody can see the spelling right there to keep abreast of things that are going on, and of course social media and all the usual places as well. Um, before we go, have you ever done any singing, any vocal
No,
or
no.
narrations, voiceovers? Because of the accent, have you had people have you do any voiceover work or narration work? I could see you doing that.
Oh, no, no.
I'm almost like your agent.
Yeah,
I could see you doing this and
you
that,
know,
and
it's funny. I did in South Africa.
you
Uh,
did. Yeah.
Yeah, on a thing called 50/50 carte blanche. But yeah,
So if more opportunities like that came along the way, you'd enjoy that.
yes,
Cool stuff. Cool
yeah.
stuff. Esther, this was really fantastic. I can't believe we chatted for an hour and 15 minutes. Could you imagine that?
No,
It didn't even feel like it. It went by in a
no,
New York minute.
it did. Yes, you did.
Well,
Thank
it was
you. Thank you so
uh,
much.
the honor was all mine. Spread the word about our series. We're doing something quite unique and special here. We've created a wonderful community. We don't call this just a typical interview show. We go a little bit beyond that with our conversations and the entertainment and so much more. It really was a pleasure getting a chance to chat with you. Hopefully, we'll see you in person, either on the East Coast or the West Coast. Show you some of the comments coming in from some of our Lovity audience around the world, those who are watching live. Jane says, thank you, Lovity Esta, for being here tonight. And thanks, Jim. My pleasure. And Esta, thanks you as well. Jane was watching in Sweden. Juanita, also in South Africa. This was lovely. Thank you, Esther, for spending time with us. Come visit us back home soon. There, of course, in South Africa. Kathleen in New York City. Thank you for being here with us, Esther. And Mary in Florida. Fun conversation. Good luck in your future, Esther, as well. And thank you for being with us tonight, Esther, from Sherry Larson in Kansas. Enjoyed hearing about your career and best wishes for all your future endeavors. Just from a few of our many lovities here on the show, Esther. Really a
Thank you
pleasure.
so.
And
You're such a great person to talk to. Really, I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I love the work that I do, and hopefully it shows through the work. And
Yes,
I,
it does.
I really appreciate those words. And you're welcome back anytime. We'll keep the
Thank
porch light on for you, as we always say, and spread the word about our series. We would love that, and continued levity and success in your life and career, Esta. And let's definitely stay in touch. Okay.
thank you. Thank you. And I do like PBS a lot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
More
Okay.
levity, right?
Yeah, more lovely.
That's it. Thanks for being with us, and
So,
congratulations on everything. And we'll chat again soon, okay?
okay, Jim. Thank you so much. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
day.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Esta TerBlanche here on the Jim Master Show Live. Did you guys enjoy that? You got a chance to learn about somebody maybe you were very familiar with, whether you're watching in South Africa or other parts of the world, or perhaps right here in the United States, and you saw her on that soap opera for several years, All My Children. Maybe you did catch her when she was on Spin City with Michael J. Fox. Of course, this show she talked about, kids TV and all the rest, and maybe some of the commercials that she talked about as well. We thank her for being with us live and direct from Los Angeles, California, the city of angels. A pleasure. And again, she took a little break with the pandemic from acting, needed some time for herself and family and reconnecting. And we all need to do that. I've done a little of that myself during this pandemic. You got to take time, especially if you're always in the public eye. And I've been in the public eye for a long time, many years, not just with this show, but this is like a recent thing in my professional work in television, radio, stage, and film. And sometimes you do need to, take time. We just came back from a beautiful family vacation visiting our family in Florida. As many of you know, you've seen the photos on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We were swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. We had a beautiful Christmas, and you have to take the time. Even during the busy moments, you just got to take some time to breathe and also, reconnect with yourself. We're so connected with each other through technology, which is fantastic. That allows a lot of this stuff to happen. But sometimes you also need to reconnect with who you are. It's very easy to lose your place in line and forget about who you are and what you love to do and what inspires you and what your story is. And we like to share a lot of that here on the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series with a myriad of fun things we like to do here for all of you watching around the world. and all of your comments on our Facebook pages and Twitter and Instagram at Jim Masters TV. Of course, you can find Esta in all those places and her website as well. But sometimes you got to take some time. And if this pandemic, as we talked about for a year and a half now, has ever given us a moment of pause to reassess, reevaluate who we are, what we want to do, where we want to go. Life is short, precious, all those things. It's, what time more than now could be better than to take that time for yourself. And hopefully you're doing that as well. Because it's a beautiful thing, because then you can sort of reboot and refresh and kick new things into gear, maybe do some things you've always wanted to do that you didn't get a chance to do. Esta's been doing that. She talked about horseback riding, and she loves doing that, and a lot of reading she didn't get a chance to do. Being a busy actress, you don't always get a chance to do some of these things that are near and dear to your heart, and she has been doing that, which I think is really, really cool. Thank you, Lisa Rodrigo, our fabulous lovity. Woohoo! Absolutely. This was spectacular. And thank you for your love and support of our series as well, Lisa. And Jane as well. Thank you as well for watching there in Sweden. Juanita says, such a sweet person. Great to hear from South Africa. That accent, right? I should have said Moy Luke to her. Her South African accent on JMS. Great episode, Jim. Thank you very much, Juanita. And everybody that's watching live, and all of you who are watching this 6 months from now, because all of these are housed on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Matter of fact, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you'll find some 600 episodes. Go back, scroll back, take a look at some of the earlier episodes and all the amazing guests. Sometimes I go back too, and I see some of the incredible guests. I'm like, that's right. That person was on the show, and that person was on the show, and we did this and we did that. And we did St. Patrick's Day shows and Christmas episodes and Valentine's Day shows and all kinds of cool things. We like to have a lot of fun here on our show. Don't forget also, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up like on our YouTube channel. We would love that. The channel is Jim Masters TV. And also leave a comment for us as well. We love that. We love that. We love that. We thank Esta for joining us here. Brilliant actress, wonderful person, good-hearted person. And we'll have her back on the show, of course. There's some other wonderful shots of her as well. And of course, do you remember on the cover of ABC Soaps in Depth? There she is right in the middle. Some of the other cool shots, if you missed any of these as well. And yeah, really nice. There she is, of course, with Cameron Mathison and with Josh Duhamel. Yeah, good stuff. And that was at the Daytime Emmy Awards when All My Children won the Daytime Emmy, which of course they did many, many times. Good to see, good to see, good to see. All of you are fantastic. Thank you for watching, Kathleen. And we appreciate you in New York City. Sherry Larson as well in Kansas. Well said, Jim. Thank you for another fantastic show. You never disappoint. Thank you very much, Sherry, for all of your lovity. We love having all of you here. You add icing on the cake to the show. All this hard work and everything that we do, here at our show to put these extraordinary shows on together, from the production value to just everything that we do from the minute the show starts to the end of the show. And then the minute these shows end, we go right back into the thick of it, and we're working on the next show and the show after that and the next week's shows and next month's shows. So the work never stops here with this series. And that sounds good. Arnold Vosloo on the show. We'll have to connect with him. That sounds good. We always love guest recommendations. A lot of the guests, they enjoy this series so much, they tell their friends to come on the show, and we love that as well. Great show, Jim. Good night, Jim. All the lovely family. For these folks that are watching live, these are the comments that come in when the show is live. Good stuff. You guys are great. Thanks to everybody watching from around the world. And thank you as well, if you're watching this live or you're watching this later on. All right. We always say, don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the lovity. And also, you know that, right? You could probably tell me this part, right? You've heard it. It's part of our closure or wrap up of our episodes. Find your Zen place. Mine is with loving family and friends. And of course, I love the ocean. And my career in television, radio, stage, and film is another Zen place as well over the years. Help us grow, share the Lavery, share the episodes on your social media. Thanks to the many of you who have been doing that. That helps us big time. We love that. If you really enjoy this community we've created here, these episodes, I mean, several hundred episodes we have done of this series day in and day out. It's been extraordinary right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Spread the word. Tell everybody you know. Share that Lavery, gang. Share that Lavery. Good to start. Well, look at this. This is another one that came in. Okay. Yes. That sounds like a good one. We'll have to work on that. We'll have to get Arnold on the show. Good stuff. Thanks for the recommendation, Juanita. And thank you, gang, whether you're watching live or you're watching this Memorex. And Jen Barry's in the house, says, I see the person themselves from the actress or actor. Also appreciate all they do. So you appreciate their acting ability if it's an actor or an actress, but you also like seeing the real person. And that's what's great. That's what I try to do on the Jim Master Show live, and actually in all my work on TV and radio, stage, and film, is you get a chance to really see me for me. I mean, if you saw me in a supermarket or in a hardware store, the guy that you're seeing right here now is the guy that you're going to see. So don't run and hide. Say hello. Sometimes I've been in stores where people, because they know me from television, and there was one time there was a couple that was in a hardware store, Home Depot, big chain here in the United States. And I don't know if they have other locations globally, but they were pushing their cart. And I was in the lumber section or the paint section or something. We were painting, and we had to get some more paint mixed. And I was in the section where the paint was. And this lovely couple, older couple, was pushing the carriage. And the wife is sort of, tapping the husband on the shoulder, Harry, is that him, Harry? And Harry's like, come on, I got to get the hammers and screws and I got to get the lumber. Let's go, Harriet, or whatever her name was. But then he paused and he looked, and she was looking, and she wouldn't come over. She was afraid to come over. And I'm like, hi, because approachable. And so somehow we made a roundabout around one of the aisles, and our carts met, and there she was, and there I was, and there Harry was. And I said, hi, how are you? And at first she was a little flustered. And then we had a wonderful conversation. They talked about their kids and their grandkids, and they had just come back from Florida and all this beautiful stuff. And I thought that was really, really nice. But sometimes, if you see somebody on film or stage, television, or what have you, sometimes you're afraid to go up to the person. But sometimes when you do, believe me, there are people who they're like this. But, there are people out there who will say, hi, hey, how are you? How's your day? I try to do that. If I'm running for a train that's pulling out of the station, I might try to get a quick wave in there. I might not be able to stop like I would like to and converse, but generally, if I can, I'll try to stop and converse. I've done that all the time. Good stuff. You guys are great. All right, gang, we're going to wrap. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate all of you. Spread the word about our show. One more time, we thank Esta for being here live from Los Angeles, California. And of course, we thank all of you for joining us here on the show. I want to let you know that we have an extraordinary music legend joining us this week. Coming up on Wednesday, David Amram. He is a renowned composer, conductor, multi-instrumentalist. He's worked with them all: Dizzy Gillespie, Lionel Hampton, Woody Guthrie. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. He's extraordinary. He is a legend. He's in his early 90s. This is rare. This is exclusive. And it's coming up this Wednesday for all of you here on the Jim Masters Show live, for those of you who are watching live. Otherwise, you can see this in the archives, gang. And many, many, many more guests coming up. We've got a busy week. and busy day. Gary, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Wonderful show tonight, Jim and the Lovedies. I love that. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. And I love you as you too, Jim. Thank you, Jen. Love you just as you are. Don't go changing. Billy Joel, right? That's it. And Mr. Rogers used to talk about that. Like you just the way you are. That stuff still holds true. Don't forget to subscribe. If you love what we do here, subscribe to that channel and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. All right. Big hugs from Sherry as well. And right back at you, Sherry in Kansas, and all of you fantastic people. We've got one of the best audiences out there, if not the best, here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We love you all. Be well. Take care. We'll see you on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. Ooh, we can't pay this one. Need to freak. Jim is a wonderful person. Night, night, everyone. Oh, wait. Juanita says, now, okay, that makes sense. We had to scroll up a little bit. I'll freak if I see you in the shop, Jim. We'll definitely say hi. You can freak, but don't freak out. And then Kathleen says, LOL, Juanita, no need to freak. Jim is a wonderful person. Kathleen knows that because we've socialized and we've been at restaurants and Carnegie Hall and on national television, right, Kathleen? On the Rachel Ray show we were on and other things. It's cool. She's a dear friend. So good stuff. Love you all. We'll see you again on the next one. And thanks for being with us on this episode and all the episodes. We realize you can't be here all the time, but we'll always keep the porch light on for you guys as well. Road trip, Cape Town. All right. We'll have to put that on the agenda as soon as this Omicron disappears. Try to get to Cape Town. Be nice. Maybe I'll bring Trevor Noah with us as well, huh? Trevor Noah from Comedy Central. That'd be cool. Road trip for everybody. All right, gang. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Thank you for your time this time. Till next time, right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, with the Jim Masters Show Live. Be well. See you later. Cheers, boy loop, and all the rest. Take care. We love you all. See you soon.